in history, all 4 belts in the cruiserweight division will belong proudly around the waist of one man.
KUGAN, CASSIUS, IFL TV, MTK Global. We're at Sky Studios here in the home. We're at the Joshua Parker press conference. I'm joined by Adam Smith. How are you, Adam?
I'm good, very good. It's
Where's your office?
I don't have an office. We work in an open plan 3rd floor of Sky Studios over there. We don't have a specific desk. We hot desk. We mix with different teams. It's a big, huge operation, this, and it's lovely to be in Central, which we don't often come to because we're obviously based the other side of campus, but it's nice to be in here. A lot of the big business decisions around the company come here, and it's great to have both AJ and Parker here today with a great turnout.
We spoke before the Dillian Whyte and Lucas Browne fight. Dillian Whyte has definitely chucked his name into this mix, if his name wasn't already in the mix, but he called Wilder out straight away. Can you see this fight happening ahead of the Joshua fight?
I've got to say, I love that interview. Despite the fact that obviously our concerns were with Lucas Browne at the time, but when it looked like he was obviously going to make a full recovery, which was the most important thing, then your attention turns to the victory. I thought that Dillian was virtually punch perfect. I thought his left arm was wonderful. It was back, the jab, the hook, yes. What was he beating? Lucas was disappointing, he was slow, but ultimately he'd never lost before. He was a former world champion. Whatever you read into that, look at Dillian Whyte's performance. It was terrific. It gets him right back up in the mix. I'd love to see him fight Deontay Wilder here. I'd love to see him fight AJ again if AJ comes through against Parker, or if Parker wins against Parker, then there's the Haye winner. You know, Dillian is right in the mix now. He was in here yesterday, and good luck to him. You know, he's done it the different way, you know, and I really respect him for that.
Absolutely, and obviously next week is heavyweight cauldron. They're all there. Eddie Hearn's telling me today that apparently Deontay Wilder may not be there.
Yeah, I think Deontay may not be, but look, it's up to the fighters and the teams whether they want to be around the Joshua Parker fight. In my opinion, they should all be there. You know, I think you know, whether you're Tony Bellew or David Haye or Dillian Whyte or Deontay Wilder, I think that anyone that's, you know, around that heavyweight division, it'd be great to have them here. But, you know, I think maybe Deontay feels he doesn't have to go chasing the fight. You know, he's got his business in America. That fight's going to happen at some point. Listen, it's got to. It's inevitable. Whether it happens next, whether it happens even by the end of the year, who knows, you know. Heavyweight division is obviously a strange business. You know, one punch can change anything. We almost saw Deontay Wilder upset by Luis Ortiz. He got the win. Dillian Whyte gets the win. Let's see what happens on Saturday, and then plans can be made going forward. But what we do know is that there's 8, 9, 10 heavyweights around, and we'd love to see them all fight each other.
What did you make of the ringside altercation between David Haye, Derek Chisora and Joe Joyce?
You're always going to get Derek Chisora causing some sort of havoc, controversy, fun, games. Big soft spot for Derek. He doesn't always do the right thing, but he always likes to hype fights. He always brings something interesting to the table. Yes, I know Joe Joyce desperately wants that fight. David Haye desperately wants that fight for his protege, for Joe Joyce. It's a fight I'd like to see, but obviously Derek's only going to take it if the terms are right. So that's up to them to argue. Let's see what happens. I think Joe Joyce is a very exciting addition to the heavyweight division, just like Daniel Dubois is. You know, there are a couple coming through. You know, after this sort of phase of heavyweights, we're going to expect to see those two. But you know, Chisora, call the old gatekeeper, whatever. I think Chisora's good. You could bring Takam in for Chisora. There's other good fights to make just underneath that top level.
Haye and Joyce seem to think that Chisora, with his offer, is outpricing himself from realistically taking that fight with his offer. I mean, what did you make of that? The pound against
the pound against the purse. I mean, David Haye's not going to go off his purse for the Tony Bellew fight, is he? Let's be honest. I mean, ultimately, I think they've offered him a decent sum of money. I think Derek wants a lot more, and I can understand that. You know, it's a risky fight for him. Joe Joyce is the one that's got the momentum that's coming through, but of course, it's early for Joe Joyce as well. As fans, KUGAN, we'd love to see it happen, of course, but you know, ultimately, it is a business, and both camps have been advised, and both will hopefully do the right thing for their fighter. But yeah, as a fan, I'd love to see it May the 5th, no question about that.
Finally, a prediction for this weekend, Adam?
I think Anthony starts a heavy favourite. I think the bookies have got it too wide. I think I've heard a lot of money's gone on Parker. A lot of people are telling me that Joe Parker's got a real chance at least of taking AJ, you know, the distance or giving him a lot of problems. I think he'll be looking to box the move, the raiding tactics of Joseph Parker. I just feel Joshua will probably be too strong, too experienced, and probably too good in the end of the day. So maybe a mid to late round stoppage. But you know what? This is heavyweight boxing. You never know. And this is Joe Parker's great opportunity. He's unbeaten in 24. He's got nothing to lose. No pressure on his shoulders. All the pressure with Joshua. Joshua looks good to me. He looks right. He looks light. And I think he looks really focused.
Should be an interesting week. Adam Smith, thank you very much for to IFL TV. I'm sure we'll catch up with you at some other point this week.
Look forward to it.
Thank you.
First time in history, all 4 belts in the cruiserweight division will belong proudly around the waist of one man.